Hi everybody! So now we move on to the fun part where we're going to arrange the Christmas sparkle arrangement. So in this we're going to show you how to cut the leaves. We're going to make them a little bit shorter and then we're going to start arranging everything into our cube container. So let's get started. So we're going to start, first of all, talk about the container. Now, in a previous live, I discussed what I was going to use, and that is going to be a 10 centimeter or 4-inch cube, all right? This particular one I'm going to use is a mirrored one, just because of the sparkle element of it, but you can also, of course, we're going to add some little vase filler and some little Christmas baubles, so you can obviously do that with that. And remember also, color palette, I'm working with silver, but of course you can do gold, you can do copper, you can also do rose gold as well. So that's one option. Obviously this is a clear vase, and I've just got some filler in here, but the clear vase, and again in the live I showed using ribbon inside there. You can use a wide silver ribbon inside the vase, and then obviously you fill that in the same way, so it will obviously look silver from the outside. You could use obviously black, would look very striking as well. And these are just from a dollar store, pound store. They're little gift boxes that have a lid on them. They're again approximately a 4-inch to a 10 centimeter cube. And this is a buffalo plaid one, which I thought will also, you know, similar to the plaid ribbon. We use the same ribbon as we used last year in the Christmas arrangement, but this also works really well with the Amarillis and the colors. And of course you could still add the bling in the top part here. So what I've done is, first of all, we're going to couple of options. You're going to use a piece of styrofoam. This is about 20 millimeters wide, so I've just cut this down from a block of styrofoam, and this is styrofoam I've used. It's got lots of holes in it, so that's a good way to recycle it. And just cut that with a serrated knife or a hot wire cutter, and cut that to fit the inside of the cube. All right, now another option you could also use is you can use approximately about 200 to 225 grams of fondant. This is some fondant from a previous class I had, so it's just basically excess fondant. Of course, I could always use it up, but you might have some dry fondant, or you might have some also air drying clay that's got a little bit hard or whatever. And if you've got like odd colors, you can mix them together. But as I said, so either some styrofoam or a block of, and I'm going to just sort of drop that into the bottom of the mold, or put the styrofoam in, and that's just going to sort of fill. Obviously with the styrofoam, you can use a little bit of hot glue, but we're going to use some weights inside here. Obviously I will just polish the outside of this because I'm using my fingers, it's going to get a bit marked. All right, and we're going to, that will be the first step. So you've got your styrofoam. Now we're going to cut the wires. All of the foliage wires will be 10 centimeters long. So we're going to cut the wires to 10 centimeters. All right, so it's going to be 4 inches or 10 centimeters long. All right, so you just cut the wires, and I've already cut the wires on the other two. These have also been cut. So from this end bar it joins, this is 10 centimeters, and also here, this is 10 centimeters from where obviously here, 10 centimeters long. Okay, so I'm going to, first of all, put this in first. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on the left front corner. All right, so I'm going to do it on the left so you can sort of see into camera. So this is going to go at an angle. So I'm actually going to go not sort of into the center, but really down almost the side of the vase. So this will sit into, just go into the paste just a little bit. The styrofoam, so it's just sort of sitting on the edge of the container there. All right, and then I'm going to take the boxwood. Now the boxwood is going to go on the opposite corner, so I'm going to put that on the opposite corner there, and I'm going to go sort of sit that into the, so as you can see, that's sort of sitting into there. So it's just sort of going across, not right away to the corner. So really you just want to have it so that the majority of the leaves are visible out of the top there, and that's just going to rest on the corner there. And then the spruce, so the spruce is going to sit really about in the same place as the boxwood, and you see how that's going to just sort of cross over. So this is the front, all right, so you see they're just sort of sitting like that. So the boxwood and just crossing over, all right. and they're approximately in the middle. So if you think about, they're sort of going about in the center, all right? And of course you can move things around as needed into there. All right, now, next step is going to be, we're going to put the Amarillis in. Now the Amarillis, what I've done is I've cut off just obviously where we put the softened fondant or the hot glue. You're just going to pop, there's a little small amount of wire there, so just cut that off. You'll need to do that carefully with your wire cutters, all right? And the Amarillis is going to sit into here. So it's going to just rest. Now, if you're doing this on Styrofoam, all right, so if you're doing this on Styrofoam, where it goes in, you'll need to just use like something about a comparable size as the bubble tea straw, and then you can sort of just press it on, and then you can just go in with something like this, just to make a sort of an indentation to accommodate the base, all right? So that will be in a Styrofoam, because this is not like a traditional flower that's got the wires on it. And then just going to put that in just a little bit. So it's just sunk into the, you can see the Amarillis is going to go into there. All right, so this is a sort of the foundation you can see of our arrangement starting. All right, now at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some like quinoa. All right, so it's just quinoa, you could use rice, but quinoa is good because it's obviously quite fine, like millet. And you can also use, I've got here some sand, and I've got some green sand. So I'm just going to put some green sand into here. So just put some millet, or as I said, some lentils. This will get a little bit messy. Also, of course, we're going to be using some glitter in a minute as well. But so just even that up. So that will hold the Amarillis in place. All right. So you've got your Amarillis in there. And then what we're going to do is, so this will be the Amarillis. Now the paper white, on the paper white, I've cut off to 4 centimeters long. So what I've done is I've cut the wire when the end of the stem is, all right? So if you follow the directions, obviously it tells you how long we're making this paste stem here, or air drying clay. So I've cut that to 4 centimeters. This is all in your directions, all right, for the assembly. And what we're going to do here, this is going to sit in the front here. So that's going to go in sort of really like from this corner across to the other corner, all right? So that will be sort of how that fits into the corner here, all right? And then what I'm going to do is just going to push this around. Now, there's a couple of options here, all right? So you can use, for example, this is some fake snow, all right? So this is one that's got almost like a little bit of bling in it, like a little bit of glitter in there. So you can use some of that on the top. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use this to just sort of put on top of the sand or on top of the quinoa. Because this could be really nice for an arrangement, and then you're going to just use the, so I'm going to put this on in, I'm just using a spoon here. Obviously we've got the tulips to go in, but it's easier to do this before you, and you can just sort of use your little spoon, put this in. You can see that sort of, you know, creating the snow on the top of this. You know, of course we've used things like moss as well, and of course I've done this all in sugar, but those of you working with air drying clay, this will look really beautiful in the, so that's going to give you a, so we've got this sort of the snow, and of course you can buy bags of snow pretty inexpensive, and then you can just, this one I got again at the pound dollar store, and it's got sort of like sort of mylar pieces in it, so it's got a little bit of sparkle in there already. All right, and you can just obviously move that as needed. So you can see we've got the snow in here. Now then you can take some, these are vase filler, all right? So these are little tiny balls, and I showed this in the live, you know, this came in a pack again from the dollar store. So there's gold and there's silver, and of course you can mix gold and silver, it's very nice. A lot of people do that around the holidays as well. So you can put some little these little silver, and this is called like vase filler. So it's used for filling vases. So you can just put some of that like on the top. So you've got like a little bit of bling there. So you can see you've got the little pieces there. And then we're going to take the French tulip is going to go into here, and then we're going to be using some other things filled into here. Now here, we've cut this to 6 centimeters, all right? So 4 centimeters on the paper whites, and then the stem here from when the paste stems, that is 6 centimeters, all right? And you can, of course, use your pliers here, because, of course, you're going to go through the sand here, and this is going to sit sort of right here. So they're going to sit, the tulips are going to sit like up the top here, all right? And then you can use, for example, these are sort of smaller silver balls. Now, I'm just using, again, these are inexpensive ones, but the glitter obviously works very well with this, with the mirror. But you can also, of course, use glass ornaments as well. And this would be a really nice gift for somebody. You know, you could use like a sort of keepsake ornament, and you could use a keepsake ornament there. So you need to just sort of look at the size of your piece there. So I'm just going to put like an ornament into the front here. So that will be sort of like, you see sort of underneath here, the Amarillis. And I'm going to use some smaller one. So a smaller one just at the back here. And I'm going to use some little, so just sort of fill this in with some pieces here. So you've got your pieces there, all right? So you've got that sort of the sort of element there. Because when you look on, if you did online for like fresh Christmas arrangements, you see like florists often use like ornaments and like a little bit of bling in your piece here. Now, of course, also if you have extra elements that you've made, for example, from your winter foliage mold, you know, you could add extra things as well. I'm just giving you ideas for obviously putting these flowers together in a sort of an arrangement. And this is sort of a little bit more of a sort of European style arrangement. And then if you have any little areas there. Now, there are other things that you can add to this. Like, for example, you can add, these are hat pins, all right? So these are used a lot for weddings, for brides, for when they have if their hair done up and things like that. So you can buy this type of thing online. So these are just like little hat pins. You can use these. Another thing that you could do is where the snow is, before you put the snow in, you could add little Christmas lights. You know, then obviously you'd have the little battery pack at the back, and then you could actually have sort of glow. So at nighttime, that's going to look really nice. Then you, of course, have little lights in the snow, and that would look really, really pretty at nighttime, especially if you're doing this for a gift for somebody. But there's lots of things you can do, like brooches, like, you know, you could put those brooches like this. And then also, of course, when you use things like your calla lilies, you know, when I did in book number 2, you know, this is the floating calla lilies. So you see when you do that technique, but you use here tulips. So if you do 5 tulips, so if you follow the video, there's a video on how I did this. If you do that with tulips and you use 3 or 5 French tulips, then here you would actually use the bow loop. And I've done that a couple of times on cakes where I've made like floating tulips, French tulips, and then I've done the bow on there. Because towards the back of the book here, this has got the little French tulips. Remember, the French tulips which are in the book here, those were done with the peony, all right, and the peony leaf. But you can do them like this with the peony, or obviously like we've done in the class, which are the slightly more pointed ones. So there's lots of uses for that. Now I'm going to also add to this arrangement. So I'm going to add some little, now these are little sparkle branches, again, a little bit messy, got glitter everywhere. But again, this is the sort of thing that you can find very easily. But also remember when we did the winter white spray, I actually on the video for the winter white spray, when we did the anemone, I showed how to make wire loops and then how to put glue on them and then use glitter. So you could make your own type of branches. You could also even just go and pick some little branches from your garden and then brush them with PVA glue and then put glitter on those. But these are just little branches. that you can use, and these look nice to use in an arrangement as well. So you can use those for a little bit of height and a little bit of the bling in here. Okay, and then you can add a little bit of these as you wanted to. All right, so this is the little bit of, so I'm going to just put those coming out. So I've just cut these down. These are lengthwise. I've cut these so they're about, about 20 centimeters long. So I've just cut these down. But you can just put a couple of these in the back here. So I'm just going to do a little smaller one. As I said, just glitter gets everywhere. so just put the glitter in here. I just thought it'd be fun to sort of just do, as I said, something a little bit more glittery here, and sort of in your arrangement, and then you can obviously deglitter your table. But as I said, things like the little hat pins and things, you can use those. They can be used in an arrangement. So there's lots of things you can buy, but of course this time of year there's lots of things available that you could use for the arrangement. And so you can see here you've got the obviously the foliage, and you see the Amarillis sits very nicely. You can see from the top here, you see that Amarillis is actually sort of just sitting directly in between those leaves, and then the bud is going there like that. And now there's going to be photographs of obviously the up top shot, overhead shot of this, so you'll be able to sort of see everything, and that will give you your Christmas arrangement. All right, so really beautiful, very European in style, more sort of compact arrangement, and as I said, arranged with the flowers there. But remember, you could use a lot of these techniques. So this could be done as a topper, for example, for a Christmas wedding. And remember, other ways you could do the topper is you could actually do that as a 4-inch, 10-centimeter cake dummy. And then like we did the basket, and for example, when we did the cover in the can with the bamboo, you could, for example, use a lot of the, especially Katie Sue molds, the texture molds, and cover it in 4 panels. Then you could paint it silver. Now there, what you would do, of course, you would have to accommodate the wires would have to be, especially on the Amarillis, you would just make a very, very short back to the Amarillis, or really not bother about that extension, that tube that goes up to the back of the Amarillis. So here we have our, as I said, our Christmas, as I said, sparkle, and I hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll have a lot of fun putting these flowers together. So I hope you've enjoyed the Christmas sparkle arrangement project. We'll have a lot of fun making these flowers. Remember, things like the Amarillis, it's great to use any time of year, especially in the springtime, but a lovely statement flower. And of course, it'd be great to see some of you maybe want to do, if you had, for example, pink in your living room, you could do the apple blossom variety, which is my grandmother's favorite, and the pink and white one. There's obviously white, so if you want something a little bit more contemporary. I did the red because it's a really sort of fabulous color for Christmas time, but also a little bit more of an unusual flower. But as I said, I hope you will enjoy this. I can't wait to see you posted, all of the arrangements finished, and whether you do all of the components or you simplify it. And remember, if you want to obviously put the flowers in separate vases or give them a little container as a gift for somebody to put in a vase, makes a really, really nice gift, especially in air drying clay. So happy Christmas, happy holidays, everybody. And until next year, I'll see you soon. Sweet wishes, bye.